Good morning. Last night there were at least 100 people here for the gratitude dinner. People here for the dinner and so many people cooking all the wonderful food. It was just an amazing, magical evening. But I'm glad you're here because most of you were here last night too. So that's really wonderful. I don't know if you get the newspaper or not, but Paul set it out for me this morning. Sharon Randall is a columnist in the newspaper, and her columns are always family-oriented, sweet, loving, and often I bypass them. I like the hard-hitting news myself. But this morning, Paul set her column in front of me, and it says, "Change your life, make a list of blessings." And I enjoyed this. She said, "Say thank you. That's the first command I drilled into my children." You need to say thank you often, I said, and you need to say it like you mean it. Because gratitude changes everything. The one who is thanked feels appreciated. The one who is thankful is healed, transformed from a state of need to a state of grace. And everything around them, the people they love and the air they breathe and the time they share, will be blessed. And one of her children said, "What if I don't feel thankful?" "Do it anyway," she said. You know how parents can be. But it really came home to her when her husband had cancer and he was in hospice and he was dying. It was very slow and agonizing. She gave him a notebook like the lab books he required for his physics students and told him, "I want you to record 5 things every day that you're thankful for." He said, "What if I don't do it?" She says, "I'll take away the TV remote." So he did it, and it changed him. It didn't change his illness, but it allowed him to let go of things beyond his control and focus on being fully alive in the time he had left. Gratitude healed his spirit even as his body was dying. What a great article. That's what it does, you know. Dr. Holmes, in his book, The Meaning of the Bible, quoted Moses saying, "This day I have set before you life and death, blessings and curses. Therefore, choose life that you may live." Now, in this quote, Moses is the law, that impersonal law that automatically fills our choices. And so, in this instance, it's the words that come out of our mouth that will become a blessing or a curse. So every day we should think about how we use our words. Gratitude is important because it's more than just a word, it's an emotion. It's an emotion. It's a causative energy. It's one of those energies that come forth from us and draw things to us. So we call that a causative energy. And so what we're deeply grateful for, we will experience more of that in our life. So it's valuable to begin each day with gratitude. Now, this week is Thanksgiving, of course, and many of us, not all, will be enjoying turkey and dressing. And I'm always grateful for turkey because I like the dark meat, and I love Paul's sweet potatoes. Nobody does them like Paul. And, of course, pumpkin pie. But I forgot to think about the turkey. Thanksgiving from a turkey's point of view. And actually, I love this because it was one of Dr. James' best talks that I ever loved. I just loved it. And that book, Jump into Life with James Golden, I found in my closet the other day 20 additional copies out of print, but I put them in the bookstore. It's his 12 favorite talks, and that's one of them that I just dearly loved. And he said, what is Thanksgiving from a turkey's point of view? Are you curious? Well, it's a terrible time of year. All your friends and relatives show up missing. They just disappear out of your life. They're gone. And then we get to enjoy a delicious dinner of turkey. So does the turkey think, well, it's a nice dinner for you, but what about me? I always thought that was hilarious. But many times we look at life from a turkey's point of view. That if we're going to lose something, somebody else will gain. Or if we're going to gain something, somebody else will lose. So from a turkey's point of view, it's a perception of loss. And yet we know the truth that it isn't. A turkey's life does not end on the butcher's block because all of life continues. And here's the interesting thing, and you might find this a little hard, but that's okay. This is James Golden at his best. When a turkey enters your body, it becomes you. Now, we have a higher consciousness than a turkey. We understand that what we eat sustains us. And nature seems to be lined up. Turkeys, cows, pigs, lettuce, carrots, rice, to be eaten by us. And they're all moving through us. So this is why Dr. James thought turkeys were probably Buddhists. Because Buddhists have a good understanding of these things. Everything is dharma. Everything has its purpose. And after all, God's the source of everything, and God's the source of turkeys, so they have a purpose, as well as a rock, a flower, whatever. Everything is a manifestation of that one intelligence. It has dharma, it has purpose, it has meaning. So when turkeys move through us, is that their way to higher consciousness? Something to think about. Could it be an experience of enlightenment to be eaten by a human being? I mean, look at it from God's eyes, you know. So each one of us, including turkeys, is consuming and being consumed by life in one way, shape, or form. But sometimes we forget about our purpose. Our purpose doesn't change. A turkey's purpose doesn't change. It's our perception of life that changes. If our perception is suffering, we can be happy and sad, and if it's suffering, we'll be more sad than happy. And if we're resisting life, we'll feel resistance in many areas. But if we're pleased with life, we experience more joy. So the nature of the spiritual path, coming here and taking classes, is to help you be pleased with your life, to help you see the dharma of your life. It doesn't always mean we get our way when we feel that way, but we're seeing the perfection in everything, that there's a purpose and a meaning for everything. So rather than struggling with life, we get to ask, what's more that I could do, more that I could be? What is more that I can give? When we face an obstacle, where do we go? Rather than fighting to change the obstacle, do we have a sense of dharma at times? Oh, so this is my challenge. Another golden saying that I love. Because in the end, we end up with ourselves anyway. Did you notice that? I love the Science of Mind glossary. And in the glossary, the word praise, which is another form of gratitude, is defined as appreciation, applause, honor. Because whatever we praise tends to increase. Now, it might not increase in us, but it increases in the person being praised. They have a more sense of being uplifted, of being honored, of being appreciated. So we can praise our weaknesses until they're strengths. We can praise our ignorance until we become more intelligent. And we can praise our lack into abundance because we're praising what is, the God nature that is within us. Everything responds to praise. Scientists find plants respond to praise. And an example in my life is our cats respond to praise. So every day when I get home, they hear the garage door open and they start running around the house. They know that I'm going to stop what I'm doing, I'm going to play with them, I'm going to praise them, I'm going to love them. And I enjoy it immensely. It's a welcoming home committee. Paul goes, yeah, they just started running when they heard the door. But the cats are very different. One is named Amazing Grace, my Gracie, who's my screensaver in the office. She's so sweet. She just loves me. She loves to be the center of attention. She loves to lay on my chest when I'm working on the computer. Don't get much computer work done that way. But she's very emotional. And she gets her feelings hurt really easily, and she's overweight. When I spend too much time playing with our other cat, Mamma Mia, you get the name, Gracie gets ticked. She will stand up and walk away. Her feelings get hurt. Now, Mama Mia, nothing bothers her. She's happy. She's curious. She wants to know what's in every drawer of every cabinet in our house, which is why we have lots of bungee cords on our cabinet drawers. Honest to God. Honest to God. Because they'll open the door and they'll get in behind the drawer, and then they're like behind in the cabinet and don't know how to get out. So we have lots of bungee cords. But that's Mama Mia. She's curious about everything. Never offended by anything. Slim and trim. Now there's a message there. So saying that gratitude is causation makes sense. If I don't play with the cats when I get home, eventually they'll go, oh, she's home. They'll ignore me. You know, do you know what it's like to feel ignored by a cat? You feel so insignificant when they're not even happy to see you. But gratitude is like planting a seed. We love our cats. And as we keep watering that seed, as we keep playing and praising and enjoying their company, it's like a magnet between us. Mama Mia doesn't like to be held, but every time Paul's in his easy chair reading a book, she's right there wanting his fingers so she can lick his fingers. She's just a sweetie. They all are. So to come full circle about this gratitude thing, I'm so grateful for the cats. They love us. We love them. And Paul's grateful for me because I clean out the kitty litter. We have 2 boxes, 2 cats, 2 boxes. Well, there's another place where gratitude is causation, and it causes us to feel a sense of wholeness with everyone, with everything. If you know Dr. Michael Beckwith of Agape International, he loves creating new words. He says, gratitude propels us Godward. Godward, that's his new word. Gratitude is where the freedom and destiny meet. It's the divine doorway to our destiny. And in Thanksgiving, Dr. Beckwith says, celebrate our existence as an emanation of God. Powerful words. So when we have an attitude of gratitude, we find many blessings showing up in our life. And as you go through your day, it's fun to do that, especially during the holidays, because people want that. They want to hear a thank you. They want to hear a good job. They're really looking for that. And you can see people light up with that. Well, the handout that you got this morning, this one, a friend of mine emailed this to me the other day, Dr. Dennis Merritt Jones. We were on the board of the parent organization together several years ago, and he retired as the minister in Simi Valley. He's written 3 books, he's a great speaker, and he's incredibly creative. And he sent this with this note to me. Many years ago, I created a simple journal and distributed it to my congregation on the Sunday before Thanksgiving, and I found that by offering the congregation a simple tool to be grateful every day, it deepened their consciousness of abundance, and they saw remarkable results, and so did the center as well. So I encourage you over the next 30 days during the holiday season, he's given this to you with love. Every day, find something to be grateful for and see what a difference it makes in your life. Now, he says, be careful. Don't be grateful for something that you have and nobody else does, because that's separation. And so just be grateful for what you have, knowing all people can have that. What we praise increases, as Dr. Beckwith says. Where our attention goes, energy flows. Where our attention goes, energy flows. So I encourage you to be careful and think about your words over the next 30 days. Deliberately turn away from things that are depressing and focus on things that are life-giving, life-sustaining. You know, this can include our family, our friends, our dogs, our cats, our plants, our homes, but most importantly on Thursday, give thanks for that turkey. So let's pray about that. Today, we are so grateful for our lives, for the health and well-being of our lives, for the health and well-being of our family, of this center. This is a great thing to be grateful for because as we praise and are grateful for, it increases with love. This is the most beautiful thing everyone in our center gives is love. Love for one another, love for this teaching, love to be in Reading, love to be filled with the joy of life. So on this Sunday before Thanksgiving, I let this energy carry me through the week. I am thankful for friends and family that we will be with. I'm thankful for the food that we eat, no matter what it is. I'm thankful because it all returns to us with grace. So in this gratitude, I release anything unlike grace in our life. It's all grace, it's all good because it's all God. And that's the truth. And so it is.